All right, let's kick off another deep dive. Today we're heading over to Pakistan.
Ooh, Pakistan.
Yeah, to check out this school,
Right?
Research School International, Burewala Campus.
Got it.
They've got this website,
Website. Okay.
and it's pretty interesting.
So interesting.
Well, they're really pushing this blend of like traditional values,
Okay.
but then they're like super tech focused too.
Interesting. Traditional and modern.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So first impression, what do you think?
Well, I'm really struck by how they present themselves as
Yeah.
like this research-oriented school,
Yeah.
which you don't always see.
Not at the early learning level.
Right. Exactly.
So they're not just about memorizing stuff.
It seems like they're really trying to foster
Yeah,
inquiry, critical thinking right from the start.
from a young age. Wow.
Yeah.
And they're not just saying they're tech focused.
Mm-hmm.
They're using phrases like higher satisfaction
Power of satisfaction.
through modernized ICT technology.
Okay, now that's a bold claim.
Right.
I mean, what does higher satisfaction even mean?
I know. Is it like better grades,
Maybe.
happier kids,
It could be.
more engaged parents?
Yeah, it's a bit vague, isn't it?
It is. It's definitely raising more questions
Than answers, yeah.
than answers for sure.
We'll have to see how they back that up.
Exactly. Yeah. And this whole ICT thing.
Right.
They're not just talking about basic computer skills.
No, it seems like a much deeper thing.
Way deeper. They even call it IC Tech.
What's IC Tech?
Innovation in curriculum through technology.
Oh, wow.
So it's like technology woven into everything.
Interesting, a more holistic approach.
Totally. So let's get into their curriculum, okay?
Okay.
They highlight a few key areas on the website,
Right.
starting with language.
Language, okay.
But it's not just your typical language learning.
Oh, what do they do?
They talk about learning more modes of communication
Modes of communication.
from different parts of the world.
That's fascinating.
I know, right?
It's going way beyond just grammar and vocabulary.
It seems like it, yeah.
Maybe they're incorporating digital literacy
Oh, that would make sense.
or even visual communication.
Yeah, because in today's world, it's not just about speaking and writing anymore.
Absolutely.
It's like understanding all these different ways people communicate,
Especially online.
especially online, yeah.
Think about emojis, memes, all that.
Oh, yeah. Even slang and abbreviations.
Right. Traditional language classes don't always cover that stuff.
No, they don't.
But it's so important these days.
Okay, but before we go down the internet rabbit hole,
Okay.
let's get back to this IC Tech approach.
All right. IC Tech. Yeah.
What kind of technology are they using?
It's hard to say for sure just from the website,
Right.
but we can speculate a bit.
Speculate away.
Well, they emphasize innovation, right?
Mhm.
So maybe they're using interactive whiteboards
Oh, yeah. Those are
or
cool.
educational apps.
Maybe even VR.
Ooh, virtual reality. That would be amazing.
Imagine, like, virtual field trips. Yeah, to ancient Rome or something.
Mind blown. And for science experiments, too.
Oh, wow.
They could simulate stuff, do virtual dissections. No mess, no fainting.
That's a win-win.
Okay, I'm on board with virtual dissections, but is there a downside to all this tech?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's something people debate a lot.
Like, what about those essential human skills?
Right, the things robots can't do.
Creativity, critical thinking, all that.
Yeah, are those being developed alongside the tech skills?
I know, I can picture these kids coding like crazy, but then they can't hold a conversation.
Or solve a problem without an algorithm.
Exactly. My nightmare.
It's a valid concern, for sure.
It is, it is.
It's about finding the balance.
Balance, yeah.
Technology can be a great tool, but...
But not the only tool.
Right.
Okay, moving on from the digital world.
Okay.
Let's talk about science.
Science? All
Hey,
right.
what's interesting here is
Yeah.
how they connect science to their goal of building confident, creative thinkers. Oh, that's cool.
They emphasize exploration, discovery.
So it's not just about memorizing facts.
Nope, it's about developing a scientific mindset.
I like that.
Me too. And that approach seems to carry over to their religious education program.
Oh, interesting.
They mention reading the Quran correctly,
Okay.
but they also highlight personal and social development.
So it's a mix of tradition and modern values,
It really is like they're trying to bridge two worlds.
preparing them for a future that needs both
Both, yeah.
tech skills and a strong moral foundation.
It's a delicate balance for sure.
It'll be fascinating to see how they pull it off.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now I'm excited to dive into their activities.
Activities.
Yeah, the co-curricular stuff.
Oh, right. That's where we see the school's personality.
Exactly. And they've got a lot going on.
Like what?
Food fiesta, national days, celebration,
Okay.
even an art talent hunt.
Interesting.
But wait for it.
What?
Mothers can participate in the art talent hunt
Mothers?
alongside their kids.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know, right?
It shows they really value family involvement.
And community, yeah. But let's start with the food fiesta.
Food fiesta sounds fun.
I'm sure it is, but it's not just about eating.
No.
They're using it to teach healthy eating habits.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, making nutrition fun and engaging.
Especially in a culture where food is so central.
Exactly. It's not just academics.
Yeah.
They're trying to instill healthy habits early on.
And you build a sense of community.
Right. And speaking of instilling values,
Yeah.
they celebrate national days with great zeal and zest.
National days, okay.
It's about instilling patriotism.
A sense of national pride.
Exactly. And then there's that art talent hunt.
With the mothers.
With the mothers. What do you make of that?
Well, I think it speaks volumes about
About
their approach to education.
how so?
It's not just about the child.
Yeah.
It's about the whole family being involved.
The whole family learning together?
Exactly.
And on top of all that,
they have more.
they have sports weeks, field trips, debating competitions.
Wow. That's a lot.
They're trying to provide a well-rounded experience.
It's impressive, the variety.
It is. They want these kids to be active and engaged.
Well-rounded individuals.
But amidst all this excitement,
Yeah.
there's this little detail on their website.
Okay, what is it?
It's like strategically placed.
Oh.
It's their discount offer.
The discount offer, yeah.
100% security fee discount for the first 100 admissions.
Front and center, very prominent.
Like they're trying to attract new families.
Makes you wonder why.
I know. What's the educational landscape like there?
That's a great question.
Maybe it's competitive.
Could be.
Or maybe they just need to fill classrooms quickly.
Yeah, who knows?
But it's clear they're actively marketing themselves.
Definitely.
So we've seen a lot in this first part.
We have.
Traditional values mixed with this modern tech focus.
Mm-hmm.
They want to build confident, creative thinkers.
Well-rounded individuals.
But the big question is, how does all this prepare students for the future?
That's what we'll be exploring next time.
Stay tuned.
I'm intrigued.
Okay, welcome back to our deep dive into Research School International. We've gone through their curriculum,
We have
seen their tech focus, and even that Mothers as Artists program.
quite a unique picture so far.
It is. It really is. But now let's get to the big question.
The big question, all right?
How does this school's approach actually prepare these students for the future?
That's what it all comes down to, right?
It does.
It's easy to get distracted by all the exciting stuff.
The VR, the food fiestas.
Exactly.
But the real test is...
Whether they're actually ready for the world after graduation.
Exactly. Beyond Burewala. And they seem to be betting a lot on that ICT integration
They do.
for higher satisfaction and all that.
Right, but what do you think about that?
I mean, in terms of preparing them for the future?
Well, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it?
How so?
On the one hand, those tech skills are basically essential these days,
Like, you need them just to function,
just to navigate daily life. Yeah,
let alone compete in the job market.
exactly.
So in that sense, they're doing these kids a favor.
By teaching them these skills early on,
Yeah, making tech part of how they think and learn.
right, it's not just an extra class anymore.
But then there's the other side.
The potential downside.
And like going too digital, too soon.
What about those human skills?
The things robots can't do.
Exactly, like creativity,
Critical thinking.
collaboration.
Are those being nurtured enough?
That's the key question.
I'm already imagining these kids coding circles around me. But they can't hold a conversation.
Or solve a problem without an algorithm.
My biggest fear.
It's a valid concern.
It is.
It's not about rejecting technology.
Yeah.
It's about finding that balance
Balance.
where technology enhances human capabilities.
Not replaces them.
Right.
And that's where their focus on exploration and science is interesting.
Oh, how so?
It's not just memorization.
Right.
It's about encouraging that scientific mindset.
Asking questions, testing hypotheses.
Exactly. Do you think that can counteract the potential downsides of too much tech?
It could, yeah.
Yeah.
If they're truly fostering that spirit of inquiry,
Challenging assumptions, thinking outside the box.
then yes, it could help build resilience against the more passive aspects of technology.
But there's another piece here we haven't really talked about.
What's that?
The social emotional development.
Oh.
How does all this focus on tech and individual achievement impact a child's ability to connect with others.
To empathize, to build relationships.
Yeah, all of that.
That's a crucial point.
We can't just create brilliant little robots.
No.
They need those soft skills, that emotional intelligence.
You actually thrive in the world.
And that's where those co-curricular activities might come in.
The food fiestas, the art talent hunts.
Exactly. Those shared experiences.
Collaborating, expressing themselves creatively.
Celebrating their culture.
That's where they build those social muscles.
So it's starting to look like a more holistic picture.
Yeah, not just tech skills.
But well-rounded individuals.
Adaptable, resilient, socially aware.
That seems to be the goal, at least on paper.
But there's one big thing we can't ignore.
What's that?
The digital divide.
Oh, right. Not everyone has equal access to technology.
Even in Burewala.
So how does the school address that?
Well, the website doesn't really say.
Really?
No, and that's a significant gap in their narrative.
It is.
If they're serious about preparing all their students for the future,
Yeah.
they need to ensure equitable access to the tools and resources that future demands.
It's like offering swimming lessons,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no pool.
Doesn't make much sense.
So even with all the positives,
The innovative curriculum, the well-rounded development.
this equity question casts a bit of a shadow.
It does. It's a question we should be asking of any institution that focuses so much on technology.
For sure.
Whose success are they talking about?
And are they creating a level playing field for all students?
Important questions.
And that brings us to you, the listener.
Yes. What do you think about all of this?
What resonates with you?
What concerns do you have?
Because this isn't just a theoretical debate.
No, it's about real kids, real families.
And the choices they make about education.
These questions apply beyond just this one school.
Absolutely. This is about the future of education everywhere.
The skills our children will need.
The kind of world we're creating for them.
So let's take a pause here.
And invite you to join the conversation.
We'll be back soon to wrap up this deep dive.
And we're back for the final part of our deep dive.
Deep Dive Part 3.
We've really explored Research School International.
We have from their curriculum.
To those activities, that discount offer.
Mm-hmm. Even the big philosophical questions.
Oh yeah, like technology and future readiness.
The importance of human skills.
And that whole equity issue.
Lots to think about.
But before we wrap up,
Okay.
I want to go back to something that struck me.
What's that?
Their commitment to blending tradition and modernity.
Yeah, like creating a bridge between two worlds.
Exactly. It's reflected in everything they do.
Their curriculum, activities, even their marketing.
They're not hiding their roots, but they're embracing innovation too.
A fascinating balance.
They're teaching kids to code, but also emphasizing the Quran.
Celebrating national days.
Encouraging family involvement through things like that art talent hunt.
It's a unique mix.
So the question is, does it work
Can you really bridge those two worlds?
without losing something essential?
It's a delicate balance.
It is.
Only time will tell how successful they'll be.
And it's not just about this one school.
No, this tension between tradition and modernity
It's happening everywhere.
in education systems all over the world,
How do we prepare students for a future that's constantly changing?
while holding on to the values and traditions that make us who we are.
Big questions.
Every educator, every parent is grappling with this.
There's no easy answer.
But we have to keep asking these questions.
Keep exploring different approaches.
And keep working to create learning environments that nurture the whole child.
Well said. So, as we come to the end of this deep dive,
End of the deep dive.
we're left with a sense of wonder, some skepticism.
And a lot to think about.
But most importantly,
Yeah.
we're left with a challenge
That challenge, what is it?
to think critically about the role of education in shaping the future,
To question assumptions.
to have these conversations about the world we want for our children.
Important conversations.
And that's what the deep dive is all about.
Thanks for joining us on this journey.
We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration.